G'day everyone, Jason here with a review of some NECA King Features original superheroes. We have the Phantom, the 85th anniversary, the Ghost Who Walks, so this is the traditional style comic Phantom. See on the outside of the box there, like nice little picture. And then on the back we've got Phantom posed up with the skull. And then the Defenders line, which I have reviewed Flash, the Phantom and Ming previously, and Big Bad Toy Store has Mandrake and Lothar in my pile of loot, which is good. So that's the Phantom, and he's really the reason that I bought this series. And then Flash in his, again, comic book style. And then on the back, King of the Impossible. And then we have, that's a bit dusty, we have Ming, the Merciless. Again, comic book style. And on the back, so there we go. So those are the three in this particular series from NECA. So let's open them up and take a look at them out of the box. Okay, so first up we have Flash in his comic costume. So he's got the big holster on the hip. He's got the, there's a little bit of stripe down the side of the pants. And accessory wise, he comes with a long laser blast. Comes with an amazing, absolutely amazing sword and hilt. If there's one thing that NECA does right, it is the paint on the accessories. That is amazing. And then we've got this decorated hilt, which I believe the sword will go in. Yep. So there we have the sword in its sheath. And then we've got this metallic blue laser pistol in that retro style. We've got a small blast. We've got a couple of trigger hand and a holding hand. And we've got a spare head without the sort of the headband that comes on the figure, the space headband. So that's FlashGordon. And then Ming out of the box. He's in the green sort of costume. Again, he's on the same buck as Flash, so he has the big holster. His accessories are, he comes with a spare head, so it's the bald, no cap, and there's just the colours on that. There's a green sort of wash to the top of the head and speckles. Big beard, so it's got the blast. He also has a really nice sword. This is really light, this one, but it has like a gem in the top. It has a more decorative hilt. And then his sheath has a real little chain on it, and looks like they peg into the body. And then he has the small blast for the pistol. And then he has a sort of a spell casting hand with his ring on there. He has a pointing hand, and he has trigger hands, and he has a holding hand. And he also comes with the blaster in a more metallic dark blue black color. Under the light you can just see it's a bit sort of blue. I think it's the same, almost the same color as FlashGordon. And then finally we come to the Phantom. So we have the Phantom there in his traditional comic colours. He's got the belt, he's got the striped undies, he's got the two holsters on both sides. Obviously he's got the rings on both hands. And then his accessories are really interesting. So he comes with a whip, but it is a bendable wire. So you'll be able to actually sort of pose it. But there's like a little skull on the top of the handle and a little the bottom, again, amazing detail. And then we also have the skull of the pirate. Nice big crack there, the paint looks amazing. So he can swear an oath. He has 2 of the small pistol blasts, because obviously he's got 2 pistols. Speaking of which, so the pistols come, and there is a little metal skull on the handle. I don't know if it's on both sides. It is. That's pretty amazing. So both of those pistols, and then he has an open hand, he has a trigger hand, he has a holding hand, and another trigger hand, all with the rings on, and he has the fists on board. So those are the 3 with all their accessories. Let's have a quick closer look. So first up we have Ming the Merciless. So he's got a cloth cape. It's a very thin sort of cape, reminds me of sort of Masterverse sort of figures. Not as ornate as his original one. He is painted all the way on the back. He's in that green paint scheme, obviously fully painted, because you can see the joints in the ankles are showing the either the body color or the body paint, initial paint. I did also notice that all of his hands, other than his punching hands, are in skin tone. The punching hands are in gold, as if he's wearing the gloves from the comic book. So there's his ornate little sword sheath, and it just connects into the belt. It actually connects quite well. Has the little chain there hanging. He has a very loose grip on his sword. Like, if not for the little protector here, he wouldn't hold on to it. I think it would fall over all the time. But some amazing details in that face, the ears, the ornate sort of collar. He's renowned for his collars in whatever form he appears. He has the big giant sort of belt, which rides up a little bit on him. You can sort of bring it down, but he's wearing a grandpa style, and he's got his pistol here at the front. And I've got, you'll see the rings are on the hands there. They're pretty amazing. Other than that, he has all the sort of usual articulation. So head is on a ball joint. It is hindered a little bit by the beard and obviously the collar. He's got double elbows. Surprisingly, like compared to the Defenders of the Earth one, much easier to bend straight out of the box. No sort of issues. He's got a boot cut there as well. So solid on the knees. The ankles are a little bit weak, and it's a shame that they've got the peg holes in the boots are a different color for the front toe articulation. So he can obviously articulate at the toes as well, which doesn't always help when you're trying to stand him up. They are a bit tricky to stand up, but if you get the cape in the nice spot, you can get a good pose from him. But yeah, I think I actually prefer him in these more muted colors more than the Defenders of the Earth version. So next up we have Flash. So he's here, he's got his pistol in hand, he's got the little blast effect on the end there, so that just sort of clicks on the end. It's a bit intricate. I notice his pegs are coming out of his toe here, and again they're in a different color, so he has like little black dots, which is a bit of a shame. He's got a metallic sort of print on his pants, and he has a gold metallic down the side, but again you can see the joints there. The hilts of the sword, the sheath of the sword goes on really well, and then yeah, you can pull that sword out, and I must admit the swords are pretty fancy indeed. I've got him with his blaster because again, that's to me is FlashGordon. He's got the little gold dots all the way around, molded on the outside of his shirt, and he's wearing his well, it sort of reminds me of when they play polo in the pool, water polo, like the things to cover their ears and to cover their face. But that's his space helmet when he's traveling through the galaxy fighting Ming the Merciless. But yeah, overall, again, good articulation, much better out of the box. Is a little loose in the ankles and the toes, so he is a harder figure to sort of stand up and stay upright, but so far so good. But that is FlashGordon. Okay, so now we have the Phantom, and again, this is the one that I bought this wave for. So the skull, interestingly, is articulated. The jaw can actually open up, and I'm wondering whether this will actually fit as a peg on the head. So I don't know. I believe the heads come off because obviously the other two have interchangeable heads. So we pop off the Phantom's head, and I won't force it on there, but you could have an actual skull warrior, so an undead Phantom, but we'll go back to his traditional look. So that would fit in there, it just needs to be forced in a bit. Okay, so we'll put the skull out of the way, but you can see there on the hand he's got his rings on both, so all of his hands have the rings on them. The holsters sit really nice on the side there, the gun's going quite easily. We move his arm up, comes up. It's just the little things, like in the sculpt there's a little bit of sort of a ride up on either side of his blue and black striped undies. He's got the obviously the traditional skull logo there. The face looks amazing, and he's obviously otherwise a very basic figure in regards to his colors, but he does look perfect as a traditional comic book Phantom. And again, I say comic book in the sense of Australian comics, where obviously he's definitely in purple. Obviously other countries of the world have different color Phantoms, but we've always grown up knowing the purple look, and I'm assuming that the Americans have as well. So the Phantom, I think, is probably my favorite of the three, but let's have a quick look at them with a few of the other accessories. This is a really nice solid wave. Paint is good, the articulation's good, no QC issues, which is always good with NECA. Phantom is by far my favourite of the figures, followed actually by Flash, I think, and then Ming as the final one. But they're all good in their own rights, and let's see what judgment Galactus passes on them. Galactus, what do you say regarding this King features comic style character set from NECA? Galactus gives 2 thumbs up.